a download which I wanted to share with you guys this morning while brushing my teeth. So, what does the Tower of Babylon got to do with telepathy? So I just suddenly received this download. So we know about the Tower of Babylon from the Bible and from other texts. Not that I'm a Bible reader, but this one I remember. So at some point, just before the Tower of Babylon was destroyed, people were divided by language. They could no longer understand one another. What was that about? What really happened there? So the download that I got was that was the stage of development in that human civilization where we lost the gift of telepathy. So previously we communicated via telepathy because we reached a stage of evolution where we could actually communicate non-verbal. Now every time humans get too smart, too evolved, they've been wiping out the civilizations on a regular basis since those times and even before. So for thousands of years, every time humanity reaches a certain level of evolution, the civilization is destroyed and we have to start over from scratch with our very limited activated DNA. So only 2 of the 12 strands being active. And that is for reasons. So we can be more easily controlled, more easily managed as a farm, as basically a loosh farm, because our human energy, our emotions are what creates the loosh. So pain, suffering, all these negative emotions create loosh, and that loosh is harvested and stored off planet because humans have energy which can be harvested. This is not woo-woo subject. This is quantum physics. It's a real thing. And so they have to keep this farm going, right? They've had to keep this farm going for them so that we don't get too smart to figure it all out, that we just keep going in this false matrix in which we've been dumped. So that, at some stage, Earth got dumped into the 3D. So we basically descended from 5D into 3D. Exactly for that reason, so that we can be controlled, we can be used as human energy, we can execute their agenda, and they actually they manipulate us to produce a dystopian outcome continuously for them to be able to farm the loosh and make the money and whatever they benefited from our blood, sweat and tears and suffering and pain. So the Tower of Babel, at that point, humanity reached a certain level of evolution where they started catching on to what was really going on the planet. And at that point, they couldn't have that happen. So whilst we were previously communicating by telepathy, no need for verbal language, when we got wiped out, we lost that. And we had to start over. We had to start from scratch with our limited DNA, with our 96% or whatever it is, 97% junk DNA. So a lot of the gifts, a lot of the visual spectrum, the audible spectrum, the third eye spectrum, the clair gifts, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the claircognizance, the clairsentience got taken away from us, and with that, telepathy. So at that point, we had to develop verbal language, because in the 3D, that is what is required to communicate, because you can't see through your third eye, because the third eye is calcified, it's basically manipulated not to function properly through all sorts of things, the same thing we have today. And so at that point, Earth divided, the civilizations divided in different groups. We couldn't understand one another. We developed different languages depending on where on Earth we were. So we couldn't understand one another. And that is part of how you create division. So if you don't want humanity to unite, if you are benefiting from humanity not uniting, so being able to, because telepathy, when you're at that level, you really understand what the other person is going through. You actually feel their emotions. You feel their pain. You feel what they are going through. So it's almost impossible to hate another person if you're able to have that level of, you develop that level of empathy through really understanding what they're going through. It's like when we watch a movie, right? We so empathize with the main character because we immerse ourselves into that character. We can understand how that person is feeling and what they are going through. And sometimes we cry, even though we don't know it's not real. But it's so real to us in that moment that we completely immerse our emotions and merge it with theirs so that we feel what they feel, even if it is a character. And we get sad, we get happy. And you know, I've always wondered about the power of movies and how that can actually transport you and merge your emotion with the characters in the movie. And that is exactly what happens when you're able to have that level of telepathy that we had when we were in the fifth dimension. So we had empathy with others. We could understand what they're going through. If we wronged them, we could feel what they felt like. We could more understand their point of view without the lens of our own perception, the lens that we look through life at, which is our truth, but perhaps not the ultimate truth. So we always think that person is wronging, they wrong us and they have done this to us and that to us. But there's always not just two sides to a story, but multiple sides. So in that case, when you have your clear gifts fully switched on, you have a much better understanding of what they are going through as a human being. And that gets rid of all division. So you can't help but feel compassion for that person. You can't help but feel love and unconditional love for them, because you also understand that we all one, having different human experiences as part of this big experiment. So their ability to take that gift away from us caused us to feel separate from one another, caused us to go in the complete opposite direction of unity. So that separatism, that individualization that we had at that point, our inability to feel what others feel, what they are going through, was part of the divide and conquer strategy that is still alive and well today. So people are much easier to control when they divide it, right? Because then they're so busy fighting one another that they can't fight the real enemy, the being or the group that is enslaving them, that is, gaining from the loosh, their blood, sweat, and tears. So that's just something that came to me this morning in terms of why that happened. The Tower of Babel, whether that was a real story or I'm sure there was a real tower, but it wasn't just one place. We were still populating the entire planet, at least the lands within the ice walls, and that's why when groups went into different directions, they developed their own verbal language based on the landscape, based on their own unique experiences. And that's why we have so many languages on Earth right now. But we are in the process, as you know, of awakening. Some of us are more advanced in that process than others. And when you start evolving your own DNA, you activate your DNA, you're coming online, you're decalcifying your pineal gland, you start developing more of an unconditional love frequency, you start having more empathy with others, because for the first time now you actually understand what they are going through, and that we're all going through our own battles here on earth because we signed up for these soul lessons, and all of us signed up for different soul lessons. Many of it overlaps, but there's also individual lessons that we signed up for. So apart from our soul mission here on earth, which is to anchor in the light and elevate earth back into the 5D, our individual soul contracts are also there to help our soul evolve. So it's a multi-pronged approach in terms of our mission here on earth. So I just wanted to bring you that because I thought it was important, it was significant to really understand what's going on earth. And the good news is that things are busy correcting, and for the first time in history on this planet, we are helping this planet ascend back into the 5D and beyond. It's never been done before. It's a grand experiment, and we are very advanced in this process already. So nothing can stop what's coming. It is inevitable. Earth is going back into the 5D. Many of us are already there, but we're here to build a bridge for those that still want to make the choice to come with us into 5D. Because not everyone will, but we need more people to come with us. And no, we're not getting in a spaceship and going anywhere. We're staying here on Earth, but our experience is going to be upgraded to a 5D experience where we will have access to much more of our DNA, and that'll come online gradually over time. More and more of our DNA will come online. We will see more. We will see what others can't see. That 97% of the visual spectrum that others can't see, we will start seeing. We will hear more, we will sense more, we will be able to know what's going to happen, what are the potential possibilities for future events. We will feel if there's something coming that we need to be concerned about. We will have that clear cognizance, and we'll even be able to remote view. So all of these gifts are going to be coming online slowly but surely over time. And we are here to help that shift. We are here to anchor in the light, because that will quantum leap the planet forward into higher dimensions, automatically taking those in the slightly higher frequencies with them. So we are the ones that are going to anchor in the higher frequency and merge it with those just below, or bring those back in. And then there will be a separation. But for now, there is still a window of opportunity for more people to awaken. And there is going to be another year or possibly more of that opportunity open to them. So as they very, very slowly wake up and evolve and able to digest what we've already digested, we will see more people coming online, and we're going to be the bridge for them that can help them over from the 3D to the 5D. We are building that bridge as we speak. Sorry, there was a call that came through. So that's all I wanted to say, and that's very exciting. And I can't wait for us to explore more of this. I can't wait for us to get our gifts back, our telepathy. We will need to evolve a little bit more before we're going to be able to communicate via telepathy. Even us that are the front runners of the new earth. Because even us have still lower emotions, things. Would we want somebody to be able to read our mind fully at the moment? Or do we feel we need to do some more legwork before we get there? I think we all have a little bit more work to do in that regard. But it is what we're working towards. It is going to be a reality very soon. And so think about that, reflect on that, and just remember, use your own discernment. Don't listen to others unconditionally. Take the information, see what resonates with you, and this is how we move forward, not by others telling us what to do, but by us deciding what is right for us. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm sending you much love. I'll speak to you soon.